Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever been at a restaurant, bitten into a perfectly golden, unbelievably crispy onion ring, and just thought, how do they do that? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, I'm going to walk you through my personal, totally foolproof recipe for making onion rings at home that are, and I'm not kidding, even better than you'll find anywhere else. That's right. We're taking an ingredient that's probably sitting on your counter right now, something that's usually just part of the background flavor, and we are putting it center stage. This simple, humble onion is about to become the star of the show. A seriously addictive, crunchy, satisfying snack that you'll be making over and over again. Trust me. All right, let's get right into it. You know, with any amazing dish, it all starts with the prep. It's all about that foundation. And getting the onion itself just right, well, that's the first, and honestly, probably the most crucial step to getting that ultimate shatteringly crisp onion ring we're all dreaming of.
So let's talk onions. What you're looking for, ideally, is a nice, big, yellow or golden onion. See, these have a natural sweetness that gets even better when you cook them, and it just perfectly balances out that savory, crunchy coating. Sure, a red onion will work in a pinch, but for that classic, can't stop eating them flavor, golden is absolutely the way to go. Okay, I've got 3 simple but super important steps for you. First, you've got to slice them thick. We're talking sturdy half-inch rings here. Second, you gently separate out the big and medium ones. And third, and listen up because this is my non-negotiable secret tip, you have to peel off that super thin, papery membrane from the inside of every single ring. So why am I so obsessed with this little membrane? Well, think about it. It's slick. It's slippery. The batter has nothing to hold on to. By just taking a second to peel that away, you're exposing the rougher texture of the onion itself. And that is the key. That is what lets our coating stick like glue, so it won't just slide off the second it hits the hot oil. It's a tiny little step that makes a massive difference. All right, our onions are prepped and ready for greatness. Now we move on to the really fun part, the coating. This is where we actually engineer that incredible, loud, satisfying crunch. And you can forget about a complicated setup with a million different things. All you need are 3 bowls. That's it. This 3-part system is my go-to for creating a coating that's thick, full of flavor, and just unbelievably crispy. It's clean, it's simple, and it works every single time. So let's break down our 3 stations. Bowl number 3 is as simple as it gets, just some plain flour. Bowl number 2 is our wet batter. In there, we've got flour and egg, milk, and all our flavor, salt, garlic powder, and a good bit of paprika. And then bowl number 1. That's our crunch creator. That's where the panko breadcrumbs are. You can even toss a little extra seasoning in there if you want to. Now, you might have noticed that little bit of baking powder in the wet batter. Whatever you do, do not skip this. This is the magic ingredient, I'm telling you. The second that batter hits the hot oil, the baking powder creates all these thousands of tiny little air bubbles. It makes the coating incredibly light and airy instead of heavy and greasy. This is what gives you that professional level crunch. Okay, you ready for the technique that guarantees a thick, crunchy crust that will never fall off? I call it the double dip. So pay attention. You take a ring, you toss it in the plain flour first. Then you dip it completely in the wet batter. From there, into the panko for its first coat. But here's the secret. You go back into the wet batter for just a super quick dunk, and then into the panko one last time for a final generous coating. And I mean really press that panko on there. This builds an incredible armor-like crust that just will not fail you. Our rings are all coated and they are looking amazing. Now it's time for the final, and let's be honest, the most exciting step. Frying these beauties to absolute golden brown perfection. Now, to make sure every single ring is perfect, just follow these few simple rules. First, pop those coated rings in the freezer for about 30 minutes. This just helps that coating set up and become rock solid. Next, get your oil nice and hot. You want it shimmering but not smoking. And please fry in small batches. If you crowd the pan, the oil temperature drops and you end up with greasy, soggy rings. Nobody wants that. And finally, maybe the most important tip I can give you, drain them on a wire rack. Never ever on paper towels. Paper towels just trap steam and will make them soft. A wire rack lets the air get all around them, keeping them perfectly crisp. And there it is, the payoff. What you get is this amazing, audibly loud crunch when you bite in, and then it just gives way to a perfectly tender, sweet, juicy onion on the inside. It's the perfect harmony of texture and flavor. It is just so good. So there you have it, my ultimate guide to homemade onion rings. These are a total game changer, perfect for sharing or, not sharing.
The only question left is, what incredible sauce are you going to dip yours into? Now get in the kitchen and give these a try. You're going to love them.